Up today, we're talking about the different ways in which you can kind of navigate Excel through manipulating kind of data, adding rows, columns, reformatting, things like that. Really the go-tos if you're managing a lot of data sets or need to kind of format things quickly, add columns, add rows, highlight data, things to that nature. So first up, I want to start just by talking about navigating the different tabs or worksheets within an Excel file. So for me, I'm never actually clicking. I'm always just hitting my control page down if I want to go to the right. So let me click on my actual cell. So I'm in this window here on the right. Control page down, that takes me to the right one. If I do control page up, it takes me to the left. If I do it again, it takes me to the next one. So you can see I'm navigating across these things. So again, control page down to the right, control page down again, control page up, it takes me there. So that's kind of the first section here we've started with that I had in bold. Pretty simple, but start getting used to just moving between there. Second is just what I probably use the most on the day-to-day is just navigating myself across sheets and data sets. So if I click over to the right here, you can see I'm on sales. If I hold control and down, hit down, that takes me all the way to the bottom of that. So basically there's 75 populated rows or so. If I hit control up, I go to the very top one. Same thing if I go to the right here, control right, it takes me all the way right. Control left takes me all the left. And the thing to know, it's always going to take you kind of to the last or next populated cell. So you can see here, cell C is populated, then there's nothing until Q. If I hit left from Q, so control left, it takes me all the way to C. Control right to Q. Again, it takes me out to AC. So that's kind of the navigation there. And then if you want to just highlight things as you go along, you just hold shift and click. So hold shift to the right, left, down. You can see I'm highlighting these different things, and then whatever you need to do, if you need to go ahead and change the color of those cells or something like that, you can highlight them and sort of go from there. So holding shift while navigating with your direction pad allows you to do that kind of stuff. And then if you combine the two, you're able to kind of highlight large swaths of data at a time. So I'm going to start in P. I'm going to hold control and shift and hit right. And hit it again, it takes me all the way over. I'm going to do the same thing going down. Look, I highlighted all that data set right there. So it's really good if I wanted to say, hey, I'm going to come over here and I want to highlight all of I want to make this a whole different format or something. Like, let's say I want to come here, I highlighted all those, and I'm going to highlight everything here. I've gotten everything you can see, and I want to say, hey, I want to highlight all of that or something, or I want to change the format or something to that effect. Let's get rid of that formatting. We can just take the color off for you so you can see as I'm clicking around. I know other shortcuts, but I'm trying not to overwhelm us here. So again, control shift all the way to the right allows us to do something like that. If I wanted to come to this last bit, control left, it takes me kind of every time I have a spot to hit, it's going to stop. So even if I go all the way to the right, it's going to take me to the very last column or all the way to the bottom, all the way there. So if I do control shift left and control shift up, that's highlighting everything in the whole page, or I can just hit control left up a couple times and I'm at my top left. So there you go. That's kind of like moving across data sets. I like that one a lot. I use it a ton. If you want to highlight an entire row at one time, super easy. Just hold shift space, that gets your whole row. Control space does a column. So if I wanted to highlight this whole column from 0 to 1 million in terms of row, control space, there you go. Control space is my whole there. Let me highlight this so we know what we're doing. And then same thing goes for rows. Shift space gets a whole row. So if I wanted to go here, shift space, I have that, and maybe I wanted to color my my net income so I can find it very easily. There you go. And it's super helpful for the next, if we combine that with these couple here, we're able to then add and subtract rows. So if I do my whole shift space, I like that one, and if I hit control shift plus, it adds a row, just like that. Now if I do the opposite and I just hit control and minus, it actually deletes it. There you go. And same thing goes for columns. I'm going to hit my control space to highlight my column, control shift plus, there you go, 2 new columns. If I want to control minus, it'll get rid of them. So super simple there. Now, one thing to highlight, if you're in Google Sheets a lot, those aren't going to work the same. You're just going to zoom in and zoom out is kind of the default there, but super helpful. And there's other shortcuts in Google Sheets you can look at. And then let's say you're sizing columns and things like that. That's this section here. So there's two types of shortcuts. One just like automatically formats it. Others will kind of allow you to type in the number. I like to kind of set mine the way I like them. So like for instance, column C, that looks a little wide. There's a lot of white space here. I'll do Ctrl Shift. And then if I hold Alt O C W, it allows me to, whoops, must hit something wrong there. There we go. Alt O C W, oops, E, there's W. And I'm at 25. Let's say I want to make it 20. I just type in 20. Same thing goes, column D looks a little wide. Let's do Alt O C W. And let's make this 13. So there you go. You can just, this one you can see here, I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of text still hanging out. So I'll Control Space that, and if I do my Alt O C W, I can set that at, instead of 17, let's do 25 for this guy. Same thing goes for rows. Let's say I want to say this one, you know, my header row I want to be a little bit bigger. I'll do my Shift Space to highlight it, and then I'll do Alt H O H. And then I will set it, it's at 26, let's make it 35 now. So you can see that's a little bit bigger. You can change that and kind of go. So again, that one would be Alt H O, whoops, Alt H O H, and then we can set that to be 20. So now our file will look a little weird. So there you go. That's how you do it. And then the last section here, so we've sized rows and we've done all kinds of other stuff. Let's do groupings. You know, if you've got large swaths of data, you want to group them. Let's say, for instance, this, we've got the total. We just want to show the total, but we want to group the other stuff. So January, we will highlight. Okay, there we go, through December. I'm going to do Control Space to highlight. And then what I'm going to do is Shift Alt Right. Whoops, wrong one. I hit Control on that one, that's why. I'm going to do Control Space again, and I'm going to Shift Alt and Right. And you can see it just grouped it just like that. There's your grouping. You can say I can highlight it, I can hide it. You know, I can do it manually, but then also if we want to be clever, let's do the other side, right? If we want to actually group this, it's grouped, right? Now we want to actually close the group. We do is Alt AH, whoops. Alt AH, there you go, it's closed. Look at that. Alt AJ opens that sucker back up. So there you go. Alt AH closes our columns. Alt AJ opens it up. And the same thing goes, right? If we want to, we can also get rid of our grouping. So if we want to highlight that and we say Shift Alt and Right, oops, Shift Alt Right, there you go. It just got rid of it. Oops, it didn't get rid of it. Oh, Shift Alt Left. Sorry, I marked that incorrectly. Shift Alt Left. Let's go back up to the top here. There we go. Highlighting everything here, guys. All right, Shift Alt Left. There we go. It ungrouped it. There we go. Had two groupings. So Shift Alt Right is going to create a grouping. Shift Alt Left is going to ungroup it. So right here, I want that to be the left, not the right. So let me just copy this guy and correct that for us so we can see. There we go. So yeah, so that's how you do that. And the same thing would go for rows. So if I wanted to highlight those, a Shift Alt Right would make it, you know, just like that. Shift Alt, I can highlight multiple ones. And you can see how I can stack it. See how it was highlighted there? So see how I've got these two, 32 and 33. If I highlight these 5 and do it again, now it's stacked. It actually has got 2, 3, so I've got 3, 2, right? Those are grouped now. I'll open those up again, and then you can see then I can group all 3. So 2 and 3, they're actually stacked. So same thing, if I do Shift Alt Left, Shift Alt Left, got rid of all of that grouping. And then same thing again, I'll do it again. Shift Alt Right opens it up. If I do Alt AH, it'll close it up. Alt AJ opens it up for us. There you go. So let me get rid of this guy, and then we're good to go. So there you go. There's a navigation of kind of going through different things. There we were just doing the grouping in columns. You can see on this side all the different pieces to sort of navigate data more easily and stop using your mouse so much. Become a little bit more efficient without using your mouse. At Amalgam, we're all about efficiency, so even if we're helping your Excel skills, those are important to us. Thanks for watching.